welcome to another day in this tech jungle we call DeFi. Today's video is actually going to be similar to the previous one in the AMA series, in a sense where the community, a called Drip, is going to be interviewing the Ooze.finance team. Just to rekindle this abbreviation, AMA means Ask Me Anything, whereas a coordinator, so an interviewer, is going to be asking questions to the team. So yeah, to basically cover all what needs to be covered in regards to what an investor should know upfront when it comes to a new project that's going to launch. So yeah, starting from what the website is about, what the project is about, what does it do, eventually, to which niche does it belong, what is the white paper about, so basically the roadmap of the project itself, plus the actual roadmap where you have, like deadlines of upcoming milestones when it comes to certain projects. So all of these are going to be covered in the AMA. And with that being said, I'm just going to let this AMA commence.
And there we go. We're recording. So again, Raph, I want to thank you so much for your time in joining us today. Like I said, we are recording this. I'm going to try to keep this to about half an hour, just to honor your time, of course. And again, just to help keep us on point so we don't get too sidetracked with everything. My goal is really just to help people get an understanding of your project. It seems pretty complex. There's a lot of points to it. And so we just want to help people understand it a little bit better so we can be more informed investors. So Raph, if you wouldn't mind, could you introduce yourself and maybe just kind of talk about your background, nothing specific or anything like that, just kind of your background and maybe the rest of the team in terms of developing, investing, marketing, that sort of thing?
Sure. So let me give the best rundown that I can without doxing anyone on the team. And so I know that's not what you're asking me to do, but there was a pretty pointed question in the chat earlier saying, I wish you guys would tell us more about what you do. And you know what? Let me do that as much as I can. So we're all developers. We all make a living developing. And all four of us, when we grab the name of turtles, I mean, I hate to say it, we're turtles, but all four of us turtles, we basically, so all of us make money programming. That's been our bread and butter. I mean, for me, for the past maybe 23, 24 years, I've been a programmer.
Wow. Okay, great.
I'm the youngest of the group. So the others have been programming for more than 30 years. And so everyone is a seasoned developer on the team. And I mean, we've all been in varied levels of DeFi. I've been doing DeFi for over a year. Others have been for more than I have. But as you know, in DeFi, a year in DeFi is like 7 dog years or whatever.
Yeah.
Because DeFi moves so quickly. And I'm a programmer, and previously to this, I've owned a couple businesses actually, and I've owned a couple businesses with another person on the team.
Great.
So we're also business owners. We're used to doing self-marketing, grunt work and all this stuff, and building things from the ground up, as well as Donnie is a excellent mathematician. He does very interesting niche kind of programming that I think a lot of people would find very interesting. I wish I could tell you what his actual career path is, but he does a lot of really complicated work with programming, and it shows in the way he does numbers and math. And you're going to see a lot of the stuff that we do, a lot of the stuff with XP, and when it comes to complicated stuff, Donnie is the architect of all that stuff, because even when people ask about the whitelists, the allocation and the price, we actually have an ongoing spreadsheet that he has constructed where we're meticulously fine-tuning everything from the price to how much we're supposed to get, how much we say we're going to get, how much we're going to put into liquidity, how much is going to go afterwards, what the 3% goes for. And we could talk about all that stuff, how do the devs get paid, what's going to happen.
Sure.
But so he's doing that. And finally, Leo, who is basically the contract genius, is doing, so he has a job doing development, but he is making and creating tools with Donnie that a lot of people have been using in the Web3 space, in this whole in the DeFi space for a while, and I think a lot of people would be surprised to hear the projects they're actually working on, and I wish I could tell them to, because you would know who they are immediately. But the stuff they're doing in the DeFi space is actually quite cutting edge and very impressive, and so they are meticulous with their tests. And if you ever heard, Leo was on the AMA yesterday, and when he gave answers, I'm assuming he didn't show up today. Which is totally fine, because he's doing a lot of work. He's very obsessed, but when you hear him speak, it's just, you could tell he's very much about details, and he just wants to convey information, and he wants to tell you what's going on. This is the deal. This is exactly how it's going to happen. So it's very much what it's like to be with them, and both of them. So that's the rundown of our personalities, basically. I mean, you'll find that I'm kind of, I feel like I'm the go between the bridge between all these kind of personalities, and you'll find that Mikey is the full degen. And
Nice.
if you ever hear him talk, he'll get really crazy, because he's the one. I spoke about this before on another video. He's the one we were talking about. Well, we'll do a base of 8 times. You can multiply your deposit 8 times, and he's the one who said no one's going to come in and want to multiply the deposit 8 times. This is crypto. 8 times isn't enough. No one's going to want that. No one's going to use our product. And so that's where we came out with 8 times and the 3.65 times base. Base. You could increase that with XP.
That's why we got our XP. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically the rundown. Hopefully that helps.
That's awesome. No, that's great. That's exactly what I was looking for. Just experience. Mathematician helps for sure with all those numbers and everything. So we're looking forward to see what you guys can do. And I got to admit, I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reference with the names and everything. Raphael was always my favorite, the red color.
Yeah,
so I always love that.
Cool turtle.
That's right. Great. So how did you personally get into crypto? Was it just kind of a natural progression from your developing, or was it just like something hit you like a ton of bricks and you got into it? How did you personally get into it?
I think like most people, and I'm going to be careful. I'm going to carefully craft it with my story.
Okay.
And forgive me for that, because I think I've put my story out there publicly, and I don't want to mirror what I said. So basically what has happened, somebody else got me into crypto and said that let's do bot development. And I said, this is absolutely crazy. Why would I ever do that? And 2 weeks later, I was doing bot development for crypto trading. And that was my introduction into DeFi, was just trading on dexes. Right. And this is a couple of years ago. And so I was hooked, and I couldn't explain why. And then you go down the rabbit hole. You do farming, and you do, then you figure out that there's different networks and different, there are all these different chains, and how you could bridge the tokens, and all these other things you could do, and all these different plays. And it's so easy to get lost. And I have friends who do other things like real estate and things, in the real world that they're familiar with.
Yeah.
And they talk to me about, they say, hey, listen, I can get you in on a deal, and you could make X% on this. And I say, well, why would I do that? I could stake my money at Anchor Protocol and make 12 and 20%, and it makes so much more sense. And so DeFi is this great space that I feel like, and this is part of the reason why we're doing this project, right? I feel like right now in DeFi, we are at a unique time in history. I feel like this is the .com boom. This is right before the .com boom is about to happen. We are at this unique spot in history where we have a unique opportunity to make a mark and make money in DeFi. And afterwards, I don't know, how that's going to change or what. Because if you try to make an Amazon now, it's not happening. You know? So there was that time then where you had the ability. So now is the time, and now is the time to strike. And so when we had this idea, I just felt something in my gut. We all knew each other. The team was there, and we all trusted each other. We knew each other's capabilities, and we said that I said this is the time to strike. This is the time to do it. This is the unique opportunity, and let's do something that actually matters. And I always bring it back. And this is a question you didn't ask, but I always bring it back to because I love the movie Ocean's 11, and everyone knows that famous scene where Danny Ocean is talking to Rusty, right after he gets out of prison. And he gives that speech about the house always winning. But then, the rare time comes where you get to take the house. And I feel like that's what we're doing right now. How you have all of these rugs, and you have murmurs about dark times in DeFi, and delays, and all this. It's the lack of innovation and clones coming. And I feel like this is the time where we could actually, strike the house and take DeFi back and make it actually something where that's fun. That's it's not dark times anymore. That's good days, and make real life changing money. So that's why we did this.
No, that's great, and thanks for answering questions that I don't ask. Makes my job a lot easier, so I appreciate that for sure. No, but I do like to understand backgrounds and kind of get a little bit of that, just because I think we like to call ourselves savvy investors here. We're more than just getting onto a Telegram channel and kind of shilling and all that stuff. We really want to see our money go places over the years to come, and that's why
that's understandable. You worked hard for it, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've identified kind of this project as something that really could take us there. Like you were saying, it's not just always about the house winning. It's our time for sure. So could you give us maybe just like a 30,000-foot quick overview? We'll get into the nitty-gritty details in a little bit, but just like a 30,000-foot overview of this project. Is it a fork? Is it a clone? Did you build it from the ground up? Could you go into that a little bit?
Yes. So do you want me to give the whole rundown of basically how it works kind of quick, or how would you like me to sort of approach this?
Yeah, I mean, I want to get into the details about the different factions, and then the XP and slime a little bit later. So maybe just talk about the brief NFT, kind of how the NFTs can work for us.
Sure. So we are doing something completely different, completely from the ground up. So we're not forking. And if you saw the code, which you will, by the way, we're going to open source the code. Transparency is our thing. This is from a guy who's using a voice changer, right? You don't even know his name.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, transparency is our thing. And so you're going to see the code. Everyone's going to be able to evaluate for themselves what it is, and we hope you do. Do your own research.
Great.
But we took this idea because we're inspired by a great number of projects in DeFi, and I feel like not one project has the corner, has a monopoly on good ideas. Everybody has a good idea, so we're combining that together. The idea of the NFT is you're not going to stake an NFT. This isn't an NFT staking platform. You're purchasing Ooze, which is our token, and you're going to stake Ooze into our contract we call the sewer contract. It's going to become locked in the sewer contract, but instead we're minting an NFT, which is going to represent that deposit. And that's how it works. You're staking the Ooze, you're getting the NFT. And so that NFT both becomes the key to unlocking your deposit, and it also becomes like a piece of real estate, where we're going to talk about XP and all that, and slime in different ways to increase the value of that. But it's also your real estate that you can increase value on. And so you will earn 1% up to 2% interest a day on that NFT to do with what you please. You can either withdraw it, or you could compound it back in to earn even more money. And you'll be able to do that until your deposits grow up to 8 times, a maximum of 12 times if you use XP, and 3.65 times, 365% of that you'll be able to withdraw. So that's basically how it works. Obviously, you could deposit fresh capital, or withdraw and deposit again to increase your, as they say, max payout. But that's the basic overview of how it works.
Great. And I think the max payout is what, 50,000 tokens, was it?
50,000 is the max payout before your NFT is spent. And and I say that with the idea that we're introducing a loan platform later, and we believe that maybe there's a way to increase the life even further, but we also want to make it sustainable. So we're very much in thought about that.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're open source. It's relatively complex coding with the NFTs. You got airdrops in there. You got wallet transfers in there. What kinds of things are you doing? Especially since you built it from the ground up. What kinds of things are you doing to ensure that the code isn't vulnerable to any hacks or anything like that, or exploits?
Right. So this is a good question. This is where I answer with my usual preamble that I was in Elephant Money, and Elephant Money got exploited, and they had this guy BT is obviously very smart, and he had two audits, and both audits didn't serve him against this exploit. And I say that to say this, there's no 100% foolproof. However, these are the measures we're taking. Number one, we're incredibly meticulous about the way we do the code, especially Leo. He is very crazy with his testing, his looking over stuff, and and we do our own internal code audits where we go over all of our stuff, recite our stuff. We take the time, do our due diligence, and so on that level, we're doing something there. The next level up is we're going to do with trusted community members, people who know smart contracts. We're going to do testing. And that's going to be our next level of, checking out to see, are there any bugs? Is everything working? So people are going to hammer the contracts, trusted community members. Then we are going to do an audit, but the audit we do not believe is going to end up finishing by the time that we launch. If people want to wait to buy in until after the audit, completely okay. I completely understand that. Everyone needs to do what they're comfortable with in DeFi and do your own research. I would never force anybody's hand to do any investing. We are also doing our KYC company, who we're going to announce in a little bit, who, by the way, we are KYCing. I don't know if that's a question. We are KYCing, by the way, and we are revealing our identities to the KYC company. They are providing us with somebody who they use, who someone else has KYC'd through them. It was actually Titano. They found something in their code that not even the audit company found for Titano. So they've given them to us as a resource also. So they're going to be looking at our code. So at each level, we're trying our best and doing our due diligence to make sure that your investment is protected, because we have a stake in this too, to be honest. And I think was it Mikey who said recently that we right now we have the most to lose. No one's invested in this right now but us. And so and we're staking our reputations and also our financial futures on this also. So we have a stake in this, and we feel like if you guys make it, we make it. So we are invested in doing this as well.
That's great. Yeah, I love that. And when are you planning on launching then? When are the pre-sales going to happen? I think you guys pushed it back a little bit just for that reason, to make sure the code's up to par.
Yes. So, and I just want to, temper everybody's expectations here in the way that if we do delay any further, which we have no reason to believe that we will, but if we do delay any further, it's only for your benefit. And I say that not because we want to frustrate people or we want to spread FUD or whatever it is. And that's a natural result of this. People are looking forward to it. They want to get in, and people could easily say, hey, they're not competent, which, you know what? I mean, that's fair. You haven't seen the contract yet, so you have to take my word for it. But with that said, we are planning for the middle of May next month to do the pre-sale. And here's how it works, just to reiterate it. If you have a whitelist spot, you are guaranteed your investment. So you will be able to invest the maximum of $1,000 per wallet that you have whitelisted. You are going to have 48 hours to do that. It's not a mad rush. If you have a whole 2-day window to do so you could do it at your leisure. Really, if you're working, you come home from work and do it. You don't have to sit by the computer where we're going to make you go. Just wait for it and be like, now go. It's not like that.
We've all done that.
Yeah, and so I have to. And so after the 48 hours, we're going to launch the public pre-sale. And the public pre-sale, so we're hoping to raise 1.5 million. We're not going to cap it. But I believe we're going to raise that, at least that, in the whitelist presale, and then the public presale is going to be capped at 500,000, and that's unfortunately we can't guarantee that, but and if there's anything left over from the whitelist presale, the private presale, the public presale, we'll have advantage for that. So then you're looking for at max a week afterwards for an actual launch. So that is basically the timeline.
Great, I love it. And since you brought up whitelisting, you guys have been gracious enough to give us a few whitelists for our community. So we're not going to give any away tonight on the AMA, but anybody listening live or the recording, we are going to do it. We want to give it a little bit closer to Raf, to your launch, just so we can keep that interest going. We don't want to kind of have that whitelist fever right now and then 2 to 3 weeks when the launch comes, we want to make sure people are geared up for it. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be giving away those whitelists. So stay tuned to our channel for sure. And Raph, actually, can you talk about why I don't need a whitelist? Because there's obviously going to be a lot of people that don't get a whitelist. People often complain about it and everything. But with a project like this, you know, a year from now, 6 months from now, whatever, could you go into why it doesn't matter that if I get a whitelist or not?
Yes. And so here's the great part about Ooze. When you invest in Ooze, the real value of Ooze is not just what your token is going to do, if it's going to go up or down. So if you buy your token $5 in Ooze, $10 in Ooze, $100 in Ooze, and you basically mint an NFT from that. And that NFT, you're going to be able to do whatever you want with. And the market is going to dictate what you can sell your NFT at. And we're going to see stuff like, you know, you're going to purchase you're going to stake Ooze at for $100 worth of Ooze. You might be immediately able to sell your NFT maybe for $200 worth of Ooze, because the market dictates. People dictate what the price is going to be. So you're going to be able to have something that's worth value and keep increasing in value. And we're going to talk about with XP how you're going to be able to add value to basically your NFT, your real estate that unlocks your deposit. So the price of Ooze, yes, of course, the price of Ooze matters when you get in, but it just makes it quicker for you. You know, if you got in super early, it just means that you're a little bit ahead than the people who got in right after you, which is, you know, it's just waiting. I don't like waiting. I'm with you, you know, and this is why I had a conversation, you know, about so Mikey had a conversation about doing what do you call it? About the percent that you earn, 1% versus 2%. And, you know, Mikey is full GGen. And he said, you know, if it were up to me, we would go up to 5% a day. And you know, we had to temper him down for that, but he just wants to get that max payout quickly. And I'm with you. I want that too. However, Ooze is different in this way, where you don't have to sit around and wait. You have this NFT real estate. And this NFT real estate means that, let's say you've accumulated quite a bit of Ooze by compounding, and you really want that house, and you need liquid cash for that house right now, but your payout says it's going to take you, you know, X amount of days, and you don't want to wait X amount of days. Put your NFT up for sale, sell it, get cash now. And that's the power of this NFT, is that your NFT is liquid cash. It can be sold for liquid cash. You don't have to wait. So I think this is the beauty of, whenever you get an Ooze, you're going to have an NFT and it's going to be valuable.
Yeah, and I think that's a very unique aspect of this project. We can certainly get into right now. You make that comparison of the NFT to real estate, essentially. You know, it's not the NFTs that we typically think of. That's just really an image that you're being linked to. That's what the NFT is. In this case, it's actually utilities that you're adding onto your NFT, like adding a new, I don't know, a new bathroom or something to your home. You know, can you go into that unique aspect of the project to where it's actually the NFTs that are able to be traded?
Yes. And so here's where I think that this project shines so much so. And I think, you know, I said this in the beginning, that I think we need to change the way we think about staking. I think that staking has become very boring, in my opinion, in DeFi, because everyone is, let's face it, you know, you stake your money, but you pull it out as soon as there's a trusted project with a better yield.
Yeah.
And we're just going to keep doing this until the end of time. And we're all going to get tricked with the next DAO that comes out. And so that's what it's become about. And I think there's something better for us in DeFi. And that's where this NFT layer comes in. It's not just you stake your money, you wait, and then next thing comes along, you do it. No, now you have another layer, a different dimension, where you could have something with value that you could put in more value with XP and things that you could then put up on the market. And by the way, these NFTs we're doing royalty on. So that when you sell your NFT, 5% of that sale goes back into the contract to support sustainability, to make sure those future generations, even the person you sold your NFT to, could actually get the money that they're supposed to get out of Ooze. And it keeps a healthy, functioning ecosystem. So let's say you mint an NFT. You mint an NFT with 100 Ooze. So what are some ways that you could add value to that NFT? Well, one way is you could stake liquidity. you could put in some USDC and you earn some slime with it. Now you've just increased the value of your NFT. Well, then you could then, with that slime, allocate it to XP, put it in, let's say, for the ability for speed. Increase your daily interest from 1% to 2%. Your NFT value just went up. Okay, so let's say that you have 20 friends and you invite them to join your team. Let's say if you are on the Order of Slime, you invite them to join your team as disciples, and now you have 20 direct disciples. Your NFT
That's worth a lot.
value just skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Because now you have 20 people, and I mean the system is very rewarding. And we could talk in detail about that. We don't have to, but the system is more rewarding than other platforms that are like this. And we did this because you know what, you've gotten people on, you deserve the rewards for it, and the people deserve the kickbacks. So we're making sure that everyone is covered in this whole scenario, and your NFT is increased. And someone said to me, well, and I like to bring this example up. One of the members of our team actually said, could you disable the sale of NFTs for a while so people don't panic sell their NFT right out of the gate? And I said, pray that people panic sell their NFTs, because the amount of money that would go back into the contract as soon as they did that would make such a, what do you call it? Because it's not like selling Ooze. You're not selling Ooze. You're selling NFT, and you're selling it for FTM. And that FTM is converted back into Ooze and put back into the contract. New capital is going back. You know, imagine someone asked me yesterday in an AMA, what can we do to prevent whales from draining the system? I said, I hope that whales make these crazy NFTs and sell $1 million NFTs, because I'd love to see that 5% FTM going right back into the contract on a $1 million NFT sale. That's exciting to me, and I hope they're encouraged to do that. I hope whales make NFTs and flip NFTs, and everyone gets the benefit from the rewards of that.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing to understand is on the market is the NFT. It's not the actual token itself.
Right. Exactly.
That's great. That's great. Now, where are we going to be kind of buying and selling these NFTs? Just on OpenSea? Do you have any plans on getting it onto the website?
Right. So here is where we get into different territory. So right now, PaintSwap is the only thing you have because we're on the Phantom network.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And PaintSwap does honor the royalty in the contract, so we will be seeing that working just fine. However, we are going to be doing our own NFT marketplace, and we're doing this for two reasons. One, we want to make sure that tax happened, because that royalty is basically a suggestion in the contract, and so we don't have absolute control of it. And so we want to make sure that, I mean, the system is working as it should be. And the second thing is, we want to provide buyers with the correct amount of information. Like you go to buy a house, you want to know the correct information. So you go on the correct websites, and you speak to the correct people to find out what's going on. You hire an inspector, you do all this stuff. So we want to do the same thing when you're going to buy an NFT. So our NFT marketplace is going to provide you with everything you need to know so that you could value the NFT at what you think it is best and make the correct purchase and not have any remorse. So that's why we're going to do the market. And later on, we really, really, really want, it's on DGen Mikey's best, on his heart to do loans against your NFT, peer-to-peer loans. And so we're gonna roadmap some pretty exciting things about that.
Wow. That'll be great. That'll be great. Okay, now aside from the buying and selling of NFTs, let's just say, hey, I want to hold on to mine, I want to grow it. What are my options with that? So I put it into, or when I stake in the sewer, that's when I get the NFT. Is that correct? When I stake my Ooze? Okay.
Yes, staking the Ooze gives you the NFT. Mints it for
is that NFT. And then is it at that point where I got to make the decision of whether I want to go into the Order of Slime or into Biopunks?
Correct. And that will determine what your NFT character looks like. And you're going to have, I mean, just as a side, we're trying to do unique NFTs for everyone with a little bit of novelty. What's the word? Rarity. So you're going to see rarity and you're going to see uniqueness.
Great. Excellent. And could you go into the Order of Slime? What's the difference between the two? Order of Slime, I believe, is for team building, and then Biopunks is for people like me that's just lazy, right? I think.
Yes. So that's how it works. So let's say that, you're like Mikey. You just want to come and collect your money. You want it to do all the work for you. You don't want to pay any gas. I got Mikey, into drip, and he said, no, I have to get my gas. I have to come pay gas for this. This is no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I got friends
So
like that too.
yeah, and so that's the point, is that some people don't want to do that. Some people,
Right.
they see that they can make 1% a day. Just give me my 1% a day. I
Yeah.
don't want to have to come back and do anything for it. So this is what you do. This is you. This is for you. Biopunks are for you. You come in, you buy your ooze, you stake it. You select biopunks, you stake it, you get your biopunk NFT, and you select your strategy. Whether you want to compound every day,
Hmm.
whether you want to have an alternating schedule of compounding and withdrawing, whether you want to do it like every 2 day schedule. So we're going to have options for you. It's not going to be every option
Sure.
you could possibly think of, because
Yeah.
if you want that, then please do the order of slime. But
Yeah.
we're going to have a good amount of options for you. We're going to pay for your gas, and so all you're
Wow.
going to have to do is, when it comes time, when you're ready, just come pick up your money, have it in your wallet, and sell your ooze, and bam, you're a millionaire. So
That's awesome.
that's the biopunks. And just a little aside, if you refer somebody to the system, if you refer somebody and they end up becoming a biopunk and they use your ID, you still get the deposit. We're not trying to rob anyone of
Okay.
their rewards. You just won't get any kickbacks. So
Nice.
the order of slime is obviously different, because we have a team building aspect to this.
Hmm.
So you'll be able to refer people using your NFT ID and not your wallet address, obviously, because it's based on everything is tied to your NFT. So you'll be able to refer people based on your NFT address, and basically you'll be able to collect rewards for up to 15 levels, and you'll be able to do this by staking liquidity, which is something that we thought would be a very good thing, because we wanted something built in that people
Yeah.
need to add liquidity and be incentivized not to take out their liquidity. So
And
it's
that's
not.
the slime, I believe, right? In the
That's
swamp.
correct. Yes,
Okay.
that's it. The USDC ooze pair.
Who's there? Okay.
And so that's how that works. So you put in liquidity, and that liquidity is going to be based on the amount of ooze that you have in there.
Hmm.
If you deposit only one ooze, the amount of liquidity you need, let's say for the first level of disciple, is going to be different than if you deposit 1,000 ooze. So it's going to scale with your deposit, where this way you don't get priced out. It's fair for everyone who wants to team build, and you don't have to make the decision between buying one or the other, because you could actually split your money, build up your deposit, withdraw, put in more, and then have money for more, what do you call it, for more slime, and you'll be able to keep that up until you eventually reach your goal of either selling your NFT, claiming out to your max payout, however you want to do it. And the rewards are, like I said, very generous. You will get 5% for every compound
Hmm.
from your direct disciple, and the other 5% is going to go up in a round robin 15 levels. Also, you'll get, every time they deposit, you will get 10% of their deposit, your direct disciple. Even if they deposit today, 5 days from now, whatever it is, that reward will not be taken from you, and you will
Nice.
be able to set your kickback to be as generous as you can, up to 75%. Right now, between 25% and 70%, 5% of what they reward you, you'll be able to give that back to them. You could choose how much
Hmm.
reward you want. So you could be incredibly generous, or you could self-refer and only do 25%, or however you want to do it. And once that person joins as your disciple, they are locked with that kickback percentage. You will not be able to change it for that one person, but you will be able to change it for anyone who joins after that person. So so if you get into a fight with your guru, they won't be able to change their kickback value to do harm to you.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So you're really incentivizing both team building with the order slime and people that don't team build with the biopunk. So it's like you have that choice. That's fantastic. I think people take gas fees for granted. Those add up. Not just what you pay, but what you're missing out on in compounding. You're not able to compound that money that you spend in gas. So those are two big incentive groups right there. That's fantastic.
Absolutely true, and we're happy to cover that. I mean, because when you do that, when you do the biopunks, more of your rewards are going to what we call the system wallet. We don't have a dev wallet. It's a little bit
Hmm.
it's more complicated. You know, usually the dev wallet participates as a regular wallet where you could make more money. We only take rewards in the system wallet, so you'll be giving more rewards to the system wallet. But with XP, you'll be able to get bigger tax breaks, because with XP, with the biopunks, you'll have the stealth ability, which increases the amount of kickbacks you get from the system wallet up to 75%. So you'll be able to get a 75% tax break with XP as a biopunk.
Okay. And yeah, let's go to the taxes a little bit. So, I mean, we don't really need to cover it too much because it looks like pretty much standard 10% across the board for everything. I'm just interested in kind of looking at the allocation. You know, I see a little bit for marketing and everything. Where do you guys get paid? Because this is a lot of work. I'm sure you guys are out a lot of money right now, but I don't see anything really going to the dev wallet. You know, and I want to make sure that you're taken care of so that you can take care of the project. So how are you guys getting paid out of all this?
Yeah, and so this is a question. I bring up Mikey again.
Okay.
Because Mikey says a lot of shocking things. You guys would like him. I wish, you know, hopefully he comes on more of these.
Maybe we can do another one later, like once you're opened or something like that. Again, to drum up some interest, that'd be great.
You got to get him on one of his rare days. But
okay.
So he basically said that, you know, we have to make enough money where people say to us, oh, they're making enough money, they won't rug. And we can't make too much money because then people will say, oh, they're draining the contract. Right. And he said we have to find this incredible balance, and I don't know how we're going to do it. But here's how we do. So we are going to take money from the presale, which I'm sure isn't shocking to everybody. And, you know, we're not going to pocket a lot of it. And we sort of had this internal argument where, what about this? Oh, that's too much. What about this? Oh, that's too little. You have to be realistic about what everyone needs. And so we've settled on a number, but it's not complete yet, and that will be forthcoming. And I promise you, Donnie is going to release the details on the whitelist, on the percent of what everything is used for. And I mean, what people are going to look at that number, you might say that's too little, and someone else is going to say that's too much. We won't be able to please everybody with it.
Not at all.
We will get paid from the whitelist, and that's going to give us a little cushion. So 8 days after the token launched, you probably see that 3% number on sales. That 3% is going to go to devs for our payment. It's also going to go towards marketing because we need to do an ongoing marketing effort.
Yes. And
that after those 8 days, that sell tax, that 3% of the sell tax is going to remain 10%, but that 3% basically afterward that we're taking afterwards is going to disappear, and everything is going to go back to the contract, and we are going to earn money from the system rewards, both from anyone who is close to the system wallet. We're going to get rewards from that, and we're also going to get rewards from the biopunks. And we believe with the amount of tokens, and we're doing it in a way where we don't drain the contract. We are actually just doing it. We're automatically in the taking out a percent of the day, and this is all automatic the way we're programming it. We're taking out a percent a day of what's in the system wallet, so that it's not a shock to the system and it doesn't hurt anything. Because I mean, we really want the project to succeed so much so that we don't want to hurt ourselves, but we're very cautious to say, like, open up the floodgates. You know, let all the money come into our pockets. Let's become mega rich and have all these yachts while all these people are suffering. We don't want to do that. So it is this balancing act, and I hope that basically describes how we're going to do it.
Yeah, that's great. And I, for one, I mean, I know how much money, time, effort goes into what you guys are doing. So, you know, I want to make sure you're taken care of too. Because like I said, if you're taken care of, this project's going to be taken care of. And this is something that can certainly be sustainable, which I do want to talk about the sustainability in a little bit. But there's just so much here. And I knew I would go over and everything with you. So I hope you're okay with sticking on for just a couple more questions.
Sure.
I really just want to get into maybe XP, you know, how do we earn XP, and then what we can use it for, and then I think we can talk about that sustainability and marketing efforts to finish up. So yeah, let's kind of get into the XP, and you know, how do we earn it, and what can we then use that for to increase the value of our NFTs?
Right. So I like this discussion of XP because I feel like there are two types of people.
Mm-hmm.
One is the person who will play, let's say, a mobile game, and there'll be an achievement in the mobile game where you could either work really hard for it or you could spend actual fiat to buy it. And so one type of person would say, I don't want to spend the $2 to do this. I'd rather spend a week trying to get it myself.
Yeah.
And another person would say, it's only $2. Why wouldn't I spend the $2 and just save the time and just get the thing now? So DJ and Mikey would spend the $2. I would work for the week. And so this is what we put into XP. You'll be able to deposit money, deposit USDC into liquidity, earn slime, and that slime will give you XP. So there are two places to put your USDC for liquidity. One is for rewards. If you're a Order of Slime, you'll be able to do that. But both Biopunks and Order of Slime will have a slot for depositing USDC for liquidity, and that will go towards your XP. And so once you deposit that money, you'll get XP and you'll be able to allocate that XP. The second way you could do it is by doing positive actions in the system, and that is compounding, that is airdropping, that is building a team, and these will give you XP. So if you even if you're a biopunk and you have your strategy set to automatically compound, not only are you don't have to gain you don't have to do anything to gain more ooze. You're also gaining more XP by doing nothing, and you can just come back and allocate it when you want, and even get that 2% quickly and just really build it. So you have this tremendous opportunity there.
I love that. Yeah.
So it's notable though. So you have these two ways to earn XP, but you won't be able to max out all the slots. And here's what they are.
Okay.
It's speed, it's stealth, and it is strength. Speed is gets you up to max of 2% a day in interest. Strength gets you up to build you up from a base of 8 times to 12 times your deposit. And when I say deposit, that just means whatever money that you actually deposit, not the money you compounded, what you deposited. So whenever you deposit in the system, that's considered a deposit itself. If you were to withdraw from the system and deposit again, you'll be taxed twice, but that counts as a deposit also. So that we differentiate between deposits and the amount that you have deposited plus compounded. So that will be up to 12 times the amount that you've actually deposited. And once you reach that max, you'll be able to withdraw 3.65 times that number. And so that is strength and stealth. That stealth is your tax break. Your tax breaks affect you. You'll be able to get up to 75% tax break with this. This affects biopunks heavily because biopunks every time that they compound and they deposit, this is their tax break. But it also affects the system wallet. Every time that you hit the system wallet as an Order of Slime, this is the tax break you would get there. Automatically, you are taxed the full, basically, what do you call it? You're taxed the full 7.5% with only a 2.5% kickback. You'll be able to change that so it's flipped. So you will get a 7.5% tax kickback versus 2.5. So that's what the stealth is. And so when I say that, so you'll have to make a strategy. You will not be able to max out all 3 categories. You'll be able to max out one, but you will not be able to max out all 3. So you get to pick and choose how you want to allocate your XP. And if you do put in slime, if you do put in USDC, and by the way, when you put in USDC, it's taxed 10% in, 10% out, and 5% of that goes automatically to locked liquidity. The other 5% goes to emissions, so you actually earn emissions on your liquidity also. I'll be granted, it's definitely not as much as your ooze, but you still earn emissions, so you could still build your slime deposit if you'd like. So you could take that out. We don't hold your money hostage. You could, if you put money in there and you make if you put your liquidity in there and you have XP, you could deallocate the XP and take back your liquidity if you want at any time. However, we don't think people will do that because I feel like there's a big incentive to keep it in there. And especially if you redeposit money, because the amount of XP you need depends on the amount of ooze that you have deposited. You will need much more XP to fill up your XP bars at 1,000 ooze deposited as you would at 1 ooze. So if you have 1 ooze deposited and you decide to deposit 50 more ooze, your XP bars are going to grow bigger, and you'll need to deposit more slime, more USDC for slime, and do more positive actions, basically.
Nice, man. I love that. That's fantastic. So kind of let's get to the point where we're starting to wrap up a little bit. I always like to talk about marketing and sustainability efforts. So I know you guys have a lot of things planned for the future. Could you go over some of those things that are going to keep people's interests, 6 months down the line, a year down the line? Something like, I know you got that Ooze News YouTube channels out now. Just go into how you're going to keep people's interests in this project over the long term.
So I think it's multifaceted. There are a lot of things, there are a lot of moving parts going on at once. So first, we're going to have the features. We're going to continue to innovate, make things better. We're all a bunch of developers, and we don't like to sit around all the time, and we're kind of obsessed at developing. So we're going to keep innovating on every space. But I say this with the caveat, we're committed to work on Ooze. We don't think that it's a developer's job, and this may be very controversial, and I'm sorry, I don't mean this to knock at anybody. I think it's a developer's job to concentrate on their project. It's not the developer's job to go and do other projects and then say, well, this project is done, I'm just going to go do something else. Yeah. That's not this. Ooze is meant to be an all-encompassing project. That's why we built in the need for liquidity here. That's why we built in the NFTs, and we're doing the NFT marketplace here. Ooze should be basically your one-stop shop. This is where our focus should be, and we don't want any fires anywhere else that we have to put out and divert from Ooze. So we're going to do the NFT marketplace. We're going to work more on tuning the system, because I feel like, there might be some tweaks. We may tweak the XP thing a little bit. No one knows exactly what's going to happen in the strategies that come out. I don't think there's any way to game the system right now, but we want to make it as fair for everyone. We're going to keep up with that. But I think this loan thing that Mikey really wants to implement is really going to be the future. The peer-to-peer loan thing, something that you don't really see. And I think this is going to open up a whole new world for a lot of people. And we're really going to have to nail this one down the right way, because this is the place where, maybe there's exploits, and you got to be careful about certain things. And so this is the part where I think you're going to see something really groundbreaking. So that is going to be there too. So aside from that, I feel like the people who are invested in Ooze are the real story of Ooze. And so this is why we have our Ooze.finance YouTube channel, because we want to feature the investors of Ooze on this channel. We want to bring on the teams, people who are invested in Ooze. Come on the channel, talk about your team, talk about how to join, talk about what you do, talk about your kickbacks. Let's talk about that. Let's build a really good, positive community around making DeFi great again. And that's what Ooze is all about. And also the YouTube channel is our platform, our way to really speak directly to the people who are invested in Ooze and want to get invested in Ooze, who want to know. No one should be left in the dark about anything going on. And I think it's also our way to combat FUD. I actually think, some FUD is kind of clever. And I don't like spreading FUD, but when someone says something like so funny, and I'm just like, that's actually kind of funny. So let's actually bring that and make a joke out of it, Yeah. And let's bring up some comments. Let's shoot this. Let's nip this thing in the bud. If you think something's terrible, let's talk about it. Like the person in the chat today said, I don't trust you guys. You guys, tell me what you do for a living. I'm like, all right, let's talk about it. Come on the channel. Let's nip this in the bud. We're open to it. So I feel like this is the way we want to portray things and keep it ongoing. And the YouTube channel is another way that we mean to put money back into Ooze, because like we keep saying, we want to grow the channel, and I hope people subscribe. We get a lot of viewers, a lot of eyeballs watching it, because we want to monetize it, because we want to then take that YouTube monetization, and after tax and all that stuff, we want to put it back into the Ooze token to see the price increase, and just have so many streams just going right back into Ooze, the NFT, the YouTube, the token buys and sells, the liquidity,
awesome.
everything going right back into Ooze. So everyone gets their actual max payout, or people build their NFTs just to sell it. And of course, we're going to do the regular marketing. We're going to do the YouTubers. We're going to do the AMAs. We're going to do all the regular stuff.
Yeah.
But we want to go above and beyond, and not just do marketing and paid marketing, but we want to have a lifestyle of marketing Ooze and spreading the news, the news about Ooze, and having people on, because really it's the people on the ground who are building the actual teams, who are promoting things and talking about it, who are actually doing the real legwork, and those are the superstars. And so we want to, not only do we want to give them the tools to do it, but we also want to give them the platform in order to do that. And we don't want to make our investors feel like they don't understand stuff. We want to give our investors, like kind of like the red carpet treatment, like, you're definitely a part of this community. You're a part of Ooze. Come in the fold, come on the channel. This is about you. Let's let's get you your own private island.
Great. Yeah, I love that. And so what you're saying is, as an investor, I can help the sustainability of this project by simply going to your YouTube channel, subscribing, liking, and I guess what do they say, smashing that like button. So because with those ads, you're going to, the revenue that you gain from the ads, once you get enough subscribers, you're going to put that back into the system after taxes, of course.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And
so
then,
that's great for us as investors to do.
We get to bring on more content and increase that more, and really grow this thing into a powerhouse that really generates wealth for a lot of people.
That's great. Yeah, so we'll definitely promote your YouTube channel. I mean, it's going to help the ecosystem, absolutely. One last thing I wanted to talk about, I actually had forgotten to mention this, but this again, the unique aspect of this project is that it's all in the NFTs that you can build, and you can really increase the value of the specific NFTs. So you're not reliant on just the token itself. That means that you can keep multiple NFTs in the same wallet. And if you wanted to go into Biopunks, you could, and then in the same wallet, you can also, just get another NFT and go into the Order of Slime.
Correct. Yes.
That's great.
If you were so inclined, you could build your own team of just yourself and keep it in your wallet. One of our admins asked that, could I have a parent child in my wallet? Yes, you can. I mean, if you feel like that's the way you want to do things, have at it. Do you have as many NFTs as you want in your wallet?
That's great. I love that. Awesome. Well, I kept you a lot longer than I said I would, Raph. I appreciate your time very much. And anything that we can do to help you guys grow, we're more than happy to. Like I said, we'll continue to promote this over the next few weeks, and then maybe once you're launched, we'll have you back on again, just to help with that sustainability of the project.
Yes, I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys having me out. Asking good questions. Really.
Awesome.
Really putting the word out there, and I thank you for your willingness to participate even in that. So, yeah, I mean, I hope to see you around. This has been a great time. I enjoyed hanging out with you.
Absolutely, Raph. Yeah, thanks, and you're welcome on our channel anytime. Of course, we'll probably be asking some questions over the next couple of weeks. So,
please
so much.
Do. Everyone
Great.
And anyone ask questions, please.
Great, we will. And for everybody listening to the recording and live, just to reiterate, we've got a few whitelists again. They were generous enough to give us a few whitelists for their projects, and we're going to be handing those out over the next few weeks. So stay tuned to our channel to find out how you can win a whitelist. Again, Raph, thanks a lot, and have a good night. Appreciate your time.